gosh, it's been about 10 years now since my great uncle passed away, and he was the last fluent speaker of my family. And at the funeral, someone put out this challenge and said, who's gonna pick up where he left off, right? Every year we lose these fluent speakers, and I didn't even know that he spoke, and it kind of made me interested in Salish and the language and those connections.
The idea for Salish School of Spokane originated pretty much with my sister LaMere. Her and her husband Chris approached my husband Mike and I one afternoon on a weekend and just said, hey, this is what we want to do. We want to start an immersion language pilot project in your basement. Can you guys down with that? And we were just like, you want to what? How many kids? What is this going to entail? And they just kind of told us exactly, the theory behind language learning and how immersion is the best way to go, and gave us, websites and some literature to read so we could educate ourselves about language and language learning. And so we said, well, let's just go for it. Let's do it.
LaMere started a pilot program 2 years ago that was actually in my aunt's basement, and there was 2 girls that were siblings, my daughter and my cousin. So 4 girls together, and just LaMere doing all the teaching. And it was a really great experience because we saw how quickly our children were going to learn language once they were in an immersion setting. And so it was really inspiring to all of us that were involved, and it made us realize that we really needed to move forward and come up with something that was more formal and to involve other families and give them the opportunity to have the same education for their children. And so I think that pilot program was huge because it showed us what could really be accomplished.
We've been highly successful due to generous people. We started doing the Founders Fundraising Campaign this last spring, and where we all just went out and asked family, friends, acquaintances, and people who we thought would be interested in supporting something like this, and even asking people who we didn't know if they would be supportive or not. Our goal was $30,000. We ended up raising, I think it was $33,000, 150 something odd cents. And we were so surprised that people were so generous, first off, and so surprised that, oh my gosh, we can really do this. And it was enough money to hire staff and open the doors.
When they first approached me and asked if I would teach here with them, it was kind of scary because my fluency isn't all that well, and I kind of did in-self-cheating language with the Head Start and InchLim, but it was a lot of just sight words, just putting it here and there where you can. Where here at this school, we try to use it every day in everything we do with the kids, with play and with teaching. Directions, and when you're doing a lesson plan, you try to teach it in self-cheating. It's really funny because the kids pick up real quick, the language real quick. So I have Telecan in my class, and she's pretty good. She's around Chris and LaMere a lot, and if I say something wrong, she'll correct me, which is really cool because this is coming from a 3-year-old, which is awesome.
The thing that most gets me is when they give me Salish spontaneously. When I don't ask them to say something and they just repeat it. When they just say something in Salish, I stop. I'm completely speechless at that point because it's working, It's actually working.
Max, Asil, Kathleen, Moose, Chilks. Ahoy, Whitey, oh,
On days where I'm just like, oh, I don't want to fundraise, I don't want to lead, I don't want to, I don't want to do this again today. It's like, no, this is exactly what you need to be doing. And I get up and I do it, and it's so worth it. It's so worth it, especially when my daughter comes home from school and speaks full sentences in the language, and it's only been 3 months. And I just think, what would it have been like for that to be a reality for myself and my family and all of our people, and it's so powerful to see, and just to be able to revive that, and bring that back to life, and just have that be our reality, where that's our first language, that's our children's first language, that's all these new babies' first language, and so when my daughter speaks to me in the language, I can't describe the feeling. It's such a feeling of pride, and just, I can't explain it. It just, oh man, it just really empowers me to keep going and keep doing what we're doing and keep asking people for money and keep asking people to support us and to just basically make this a reality, to be K through 12. K through 12 is our big dream. That's what we really want.